Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Market Pulse. I am Ajit Mahuli, the founder and mentor at LPAT. Let's take a look at what the indices have been doing and are likely to do. So as expected, the index came down again to its origin from where this entire move had happened. That's sub 21,800 levels. So this month is not yet over and prices again retraced back up, more of short covering play. This is very compressive. There is still a good chance that we might continue the fall towards, let's say, 21,500, and based on the monthly, at least 20,200. But that's far-fetched. It might not happen in the coming month or so. On the weekly chart, if you see, we are again moving up from this area of demand zone, which we have identified. And this is a pro gap. Price will find it difficult to move beyond this area. That's about 22,400 to 22,500. So here at this area, if you get some confirmation of trend change on the smaller time frame, we can look for some swing shots. It is up to, again, it's a sub 22,000 levels. So on the weekly chart, range bound price movement, it will be interesting to see how price closes during this monthly expiry period, and this is going to be a key area. On the weekly chart, on the daily chart, when I'm here, so this is what has happened. We had a nice gap down, and prices rose up immediately after that gap down. Today also we had a gap up, but this is not a great candle for bullish or being bullish, even though because of results and maybe if US markets close positive, we could still end up moving towards this gap area that is 22,425. So keep a look at that. And once we start moving below this, there is a good chance we will again come back to 22,000 levels based on the daily chart. So range bound price movement. We are in the middle of the curve, so avoid index trading if you're not in any long. For shorts, need to wait for confirmation. That's what we see on the smaller time frame. That's the area which is probably want to hold the markets, and if prices go beyond this, you'll have to wait for those specific candles or those time frames to close to see if there is any decoy that is happening, and that's the main supply. On the lower side, this once we reach this, probably price will easily move towards 150, and that's your second confirmation point for price. Once it breaks 22,100, the next stop would be another 200 odd points. So this is how the demand and supply are stacked. Maybe waiting is a good option in the index to trade based on some confirmation in this area, or maybe some aggressive shorts at this area. This won't be good longs. Price might range. We could wait for each of this. If we come down here, then maybe some confirmation longs if there are no negative news for the markets. Remember, the volatility is going to increase because of the election period and inflation. So be cautious about aggressive trade setups. A quick look at India VIX. India VIX after on the monthly is moving from the monthly demand zone, has good room up till let's say 15. On the weekly, we probably are retracing, but maybe there are some demand zones here on the daily chart which might push it up, or if it comes from here, we could see it moving up. That's what I meant on the daily chart. We have this area, maybe price might move up, and good chance for prices to go, VIX to go towards, let's say, 15 odd levels. A quick look at Bank Nifty. So if you see Bank Nifty moved up very well from our area of demand zone and has been within 2 days come back to that gap level on the daily chart. So again, this is a rejection. We don't know how this month will close. If we close somewhere close to 49,000, then that's going to be bullish. But if we close below, let's say 46,500, that would be bearish, and maybe next week we could again see some selling pressure on the indices until 45,000 to 46,000 on the Bank Nifty. That's still in the area of demand zone. on the monthly chart. Maybe on smaller time frames, you'll have some demand zones here. On the weekly, again, we came near that gap area and have stalled. It's going to be interesting to see how that gap, how price behaves at that gap level. Maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, will be pretty interesting to see. Uh, that's the main area of demand zone, though it's a little bit wider on the weekly chart. We came down to this area, which was on the daily chart. Price moved up. Now, again, reward to risk on the long is pretty low. On confirmation, the reward to risk for short should be pretty high. Daily chart again. Now, once we start going about this, then we will wait for some confirmation areas here. That's a good area of supply that has been created on the daily chart, and that's fresh. If you open gap up here, look for some confirmation on smaller time frames to go short. And if we start pulling back, probably we will come back when we see this on Bank Nifty. So good reward to risk on the short side, but we have to wait for confirmation, whereas for longs, very low reward to risk ratios. We have to wait for a good significant pullback, let's say up to 47,500 and go long. That's what this here. This is what it happened today. We came down here, but still have not reached this. So it will be interesting to see how price behaves tomorrow. That's the supply zone and that's the demand zone. That will be played for, let's say, tomorrow and maybe even day after tomorrow. So again, middle of the curve, cautious approach towards on the long side. If we come here and get confirmation, price could again move, make attempt to move here, we look for longs. If we breach 47,400, 300 areas, then that's going to be our target for new shots. All right. Hope this helps.